Today, the Department of Homeland Security announced it is on pace to deport nearly 600,000 illegal immigrants by year's end. Aggressive enforcement raids have increased across the country, and in tonight's In Depth, CBS's Nydia Cavazos reports on Americans getting caught in the middle and being forced to prove their citizenship to gain their release from detention.
This 3-month-old baby girl was born just days after her mother, Carrie Lopez Alvarado, was detained by federal immigration agents despite being a U.S. citizen.
They told me, okay, your baby's gonna be born here, but you're from Mexico, right? And I told them, like, no, I was born here and I speak English.
Let her go, she's pregnant!
The 23-year-old LA native was handcuffed and detained for over 8 hours with a chain around her belly. Once she was released, she says she went straight to the hospital with cuts and bruises.
At the hospital, they had told me that I was already having contractions every 2 minutes.
So you were already in labor?
Yes.
Her boyfriend, who was inside the truck, was also detained and later deported to Guatemala. He has not seen his newborn. Michael Carrillo is representing Lopez Alvarado, 7 other Americans, and 1 green card holder who have filed legal claims against the U.S. government, alleging they were wrongfully detained, racially profiled, and some were beaten by federal authorities.
What they're doing is they're stopping, detaining, arresting, putting people in federal custody, and then asking questions later.
Juan Rivas is among those suing. Working as a day laborer for more than 20 years, the green card holder was detained at a Home Depot parking lot on July 4th, despite having legal documents.
You had them with you?
Yeah, I have it with me. And I was ready to show them when they start hitting me, throwing me on the floor.
As immigration enforcement activity continues across Los Angeles almost daily, immigration lawyers warn that a recent Supreme Court ruling may put U.S. citizens at risk. Earlier this month, the Supreme Court lifted restrictions barring federal agents from stopping a person in Los Angeles based on factors like location, type of work, speaking Spanish or English with an accent, and apparent race or ethnicity.
I'm American, bro.
Brian Gavidia is a U.S. citizen who was confronted by federal agents outside of the dealership he owns.
Where's my due process? Allow me to present my ID. Don't just throw me to the wall. Don't just twist my arm.
Agents released Gavidia after verifying his citizenship. He now says he regrets his vote for President Trump.
I truly believe it was the worst of the worst. Not Americans, not everyday people, not our day laborers, not our farm workers.
Immigration lawyers like Carrillo have been advising clients to carry their passports every time they leave their house. Nydia Cavazos, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Today, a U.S. appeals court has denied the Trump administration effort to lift an order blocking the deployment of National Guard into Portland, Oregon. The president has called the city war-ravaged as protests around an ICE facility there have led to clashes with police. In tonight's In Depth, Adam Yamaguchi reports on the anxiety growing among the people of Portland.
Protests outside this ICE processing facility have largely been contained to a single block. But the perception of Portland as unsafe has created ripple effects across this 135 square mile city. It's the breakfast rush at Mother's Bistro and Bar downtown, but these crowds are rare.
You know, we have our days where we're busy, but it's not like it used to be.
Owner Lisa Schroeder says since the 2020 pandemic and protests emptied out downtown, business has gone from bad to worse.
My business is half of what it was, but it's certainly not going to get better by somebody telling the world that our city is war ravaged.
Portland, Oregon, where it looks like a war zone.
Portland has been a focal point in President Trump's deployment of the National Guard to quell opposition to ICE activity in blue cities.
Portland is on fire. Portland's been on fire for years.
A Trump-appointed federal judge granted a temporary restraining order, blocking the troops from being sent to Oregon. Business owners have submitted legal declarations of support, saying the rhetoric has been damaging. Diners here felt it too. Is Portland a war zone?
No. It's not Portlanders. It's not who Portland is, and it's not the 99.9% of who's out there.
We definitely have an image problem, but I feel like Goliath is coming after David. We're a little city here just trying to get by, trying to sort out our problems, and we don't need the big cheese to come here.
So you think Portland was recovering and this kind of throws cold water on that?
We are definitely in a state of recovery. We are not there.
The Portland Police Bureau found crime here is down 19% over a 2-year period.
Shame.
But as the protests play out on the national stage, Schroeder says she's losing money.
You've been put through the ringer these last few years.
And this does not help. It does not help at all. We don't need this. And certainly to spend our money on troops to come here for this? This is what our government is spending money on. It's a shame. A crying shame. And I'm crying.
And trying to keep her business of 25 years from going under. Adam Yamaguchi, CBS News, Portland.
Today, a federal appeals court approved the Trump administration's request to deploy the Oregon National Guard to protect federal buildings and immigration officers. Tensions have simmered in Portland, Oregon for weeks. In tonight's In-Depth, CBS immigration reporter Camila Montoya Galvez got an up-close look at what's happening on the ground.
This is the moment federal immigration agents broke into Gloria Magaña's home in Portland last week. Federal agents forced their way into your home, and you're saying they did not have a warrant. No mostraron ningún documento. They didn't show you any documents.
No mostraron nada.
No. Magaña got a call from her children saying agents were shouting for someone named Israel. But no one in their home goes by that name.
Dije, no abran la puerta, ustedes la queden la puerta.
You told your children to lock themselves inside. With guns drawn, agents broke open the door.
Please identify yourself.
Outside, witnesses tried asking for information.
Stop watching TikTok. We don't have to identify ourselves to you.
ICE has since admitted agents were looking for someone else, but they still detained Magaña's son alongside her partner, saying they're in the U.S. illegally. Your son and your partner, do they have a criminal record?
No, nada, ni un ticket, ni nada.
Not even a ticket, you're saying?
No.
Over the weekend, millions took to the streets for No Kings protests. Here in Portland, federal agents deployed tear gas to disperse a crowd that has been denouncing ICE's tactics as heavy-handed and indiscriminate. How would you address those concerns?
They're not indiscriminate.
Marcus Charles is the head of ICE's deportation branch.
We're heading over to another target location.
We spent a few hours with this team and saw them arrest a Mexican man with a manslaughter conviction.
Get back! Get back! If you're illegally in the country, we're going to arrest you.
What about the concern and the criticism that your tactics, your agency's tactics, have become too aggressive?
We use the force necessary to effect an arrest. If people interpret that as being aggressive, so be it.
Portland pastor Mark Knutson has put up signs saying ICE agents need permission to enter his church. If any of those families who are scared about being arrested by ICE come here to this church, what kind of reception would they receive?
They'd be welcomed, open arms. We're not going to hide people. We're going to create a space to be safe, and then we work the systems to help them get their amnesty or get the documents they need to stay. ICE cannot come in here, so this could be a standoff if that happens, and we're willing to do it.
Knutson says he prays he never has to face that reality. Camila Montoya Galvez, CBS News, Portland, Oregon.
There is outrage in Chicago tonight following a federal immigration arrest at a daycare center.
While witnesses say it was a chaotic scene, officials say the daycare was not the primary target. Usher Qureshi has the story.
This video captured the moment ICE agents dragged a pre-K teacher out of a daycare center on Chicago's north side. She can be seen pleading with the agents as she's pushed up against a waiting sedan. At one point, she shouts in Spanish, "I have papers."
ICE agents followed a teacher into the facility without a warrant and abducted her in front of her students. This woman is a trusted, loved member of her community with a work permit.
Officials identified the woman as Diana Galeano, a Colombian national in the country since 2023 and seeking asylum. Children, teachers, and parents inside at the time of the arrest said they were traumatized by what they saw.
What has happened today is domestic terrorism, and it is absurd and horrific that they have now targeted our daycare centers.
Until recently, sensitive areas like schools and hospitals were generally off limits to immigration enforcement. That changed under the second Trump administration. Today's incident, the latest in a string of controversial arrests that have been happening across Chicago as part of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown.
In a statement to CBS News, the Department of Homeland Security denied targeting the daycare center and said Galliano sped away from ICE agents in a car and then fled on foot into the daycare center where she was arrested.
Now to the immigration crackdown in Charlotte, North Carolina.
The Department of Homeland Security says that since Saturday, more than 130 undocumented migrants with criminal records have been arrested in Operation Charlotte's Web. Skylar Henry is there.
Hundreds of immigration agents descended on Charlotte, North Carolina this weekend, pulling people from shopping centers and moving in on this landscaping crew putting up Christmas lights. It's all part of the government's latest immigration enforcement action dubbed Operation Charlotte's Web. Willie Isatuno recorded this video outside a shopping center near his home. Soon after, Customs and Border Protection detained him.
I said, hey, American citizen, American citizen. I was on the ground, put back, put in the car. Take it to me.
He showed us where he says broken glass cut his arm and told us this was the second time that same day agents approached him.
Why? Just because I am Latino. The white people, hey, ask for my papers. No, specific Latinos.
In a statement, Customs and Border Protection said Isatuno was acting increasingly erratic and accused him of intentionally trying to distract officers from doing their jobs. Police data shows violent crime in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area is down 20% compared to last year.
We're dealing with the mess now. We will have to deal with the mess when they leave. We're dealing with the mess every day.
Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden says a lack of communication from CBP is complicating local law enforcement operations.
We don't have any idea who they have apprehended.
How common is it to collaborate on the federal, state, and local level?
Well, we do it well if you want to do it. We all say that we want the same thing, but are we working towards it?
Sheriff McFadden also told us that his office has not been contacted as far as helping out with any immigration enforcement, nor have they been told how long agents will be here in the city.
Federal immigration officers were spotted across the Raleigh-Durham area in North Carolina today.
This follows the start of another crackdown over the weekend in Charlotte. Skylar Henry is there.
More than 200 arrests have been made in North Carolina as the federal government's Operation Charlotte's Web continues.
We're never going to feel safe. We're never going to not be immigrants.
Christina Rojas became a U.S. citizen in March. She owns the Batchmaker in Charlotte and closed her bakery for the first time in 4 years, fearing for her community's safety.
Some people would say, why do you feel as if you are unsafe because you do have citizenship here?
I became a citizen, but I don't stop being Honduran. I don't stop being Hispanic. So while, yes, I am a citizen, it doesn't take away from who I am, and I am an immigrant.
Across the city, students have staged walkouts. School officials say that district-wide, more than 30,000 students, roughly 22%, were absent on Monday. In this video, posted by Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bavino, taken during operations in Chicago, he told agents,
"This is our country. Nobody's taking me. Continue to take me. Country. Nobody tells us where to go, when to go, how to go in our country."
And in Chicago, immigration officials arrested more than 600 people. Of those, the Trump administration said roughly 3% posed a high public safety risk. Today, North Carolina's Governor Josh Stein said Border Patrol tactics do not promote public safety.
They're just sweeping sidewalks. They're sweeping parking lots. This is causing widespread fear, widespread uncertainty. This is not about public safety, and I wish that it were.
And we've learned as federal agents shift their focus to New Orleans, according to internal Homeland Security preps. The police chief there told CBS News today that she's planning on meeting with CBP this week, which is a contrast in comparison to what law enforcement here in Charlotte says they've experienced.